Welcome to part two of identifying blocking sessions. And in part one, we did a very simple example where we basically opened a transaction, started a transaction, haven't completed it, tried to read the data for that same table from a select statement from a different connection, a different SPID. Notice this thing's been waiting 1 minute and 42 seconds now because this transaction's held open. Well, I opened the activity monitor and I want you to notice that if I click on the resource weights section, and I'm going to float it where I can make it a little larger. I want you to notice that there is a lock. We can see the wait time in milliseconds right here. Let's go to processes and take a look, and we can see these locks. Notice if I scroll down, here's AdventureWorks 2012. And if I start to expand these out, here's a blocker. Here's number one, and we can see wait times. Notice if I expand this little column out, it's basically saying it's being blocked by, and that's the SPID ID, and it's updating. That's why it's jumping down. Notice we can see that it's being blocked by 68. So this process, this session ID 69 is being blocked by 68. There's one thing that I can do. I can right click on this and kill the process, okay? But before I do that, as an administrator, I want you to see what happens. I can kill this and it will allow this one to run and you will see the data show up here. I'm going to right click, kill this process. And when I click yes, it kills it and this one completes. Basically, I went in and overrode this and said, hey, kill this transaction. Now, in doing that, understand that I also prevented this from either committing or anything. This didn't get committed to the database. I'm kind of using a heavy hand as an administrator here, so that's something you need to be aware of. Let me come right here. Let's Control R. I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to execute this window. I'll just click over here in this window, click Execute. Then I'll click in this window and I will click Execute. This time I'm getting an invalid name. I see what I did. Let me go back and start this over. This would be AdventureWorks 2012 and this one. Okay, so click back over in this window. Notice AdventureWorks 2012. I'll execute this. Here, I'm going to make this go away. Click here and then execute this again. I'm back in my wait state. We're going to do one more thing here. I'm going to create one more new query window. This time I'm going to type sp underscore who, and we'll execute this, and we can start to see some interesting things. If we scroll down, you'll notice that SPID 69 is basically being blocked by 68. It's not as easy to tell there. And notice I can see the login name. Well, they're both my login name because they're both me. In the real world, we would see two unique login names. This tells us what's going on, who's doing this, and we can start to chase down exactly what's going on here. Now notice if I do sp-who2 and execute that, no real huge difference other than the fact that it provides a little more information. Now I'm going to go make this thing get a little wider so that we can see it better. It is saying BLK by, so you can see exactly what's going on. SPID 69 is basically suspended. It's being blocked by 68, and you can see the CPU time right now, and you can see some other things. This is an easy way between the sp-who and, let me go back to Object Explorer. If I right click on the server and go to Activity Monitor, easy way to see exactly what's going on with our environment. I can see resource weights, and I can start to see who's waiting, what they're waiting on. Notice here's locks, and so we can see wait time in seconds, cumulative. For more information, we can go to processes and we can start to see that 69 is blocked by 68. Then we can see applications, we can see the database. And if you look around over here, you can get some more information as well. Here's the host name right here. You can expand that out and see it. That's a quick look in two parts at how you can understand what locking is happening. And when you start to get reports from end users saying, man, the database is just getting slow. First of all, go into activity reports and see how many blocks you see out there. Then you can start to chase these down and you can sometimes find a common denominator. Like in this example, it's me. If I see a user like me who's constantly blocking a lot of people, I need to go dig into what they're doing take a look at that Transact SQL programming and see exactly what's going on, because most likely we've got an issue going on. Let me come back here and right click and put these in that vertical tab group again. We most likely have a situation where someone either is running some sort of incorrect or inefficient Transact SQL code. They're leaving a transaction open too long before they finally roll that thing back or commit it. Notice I could commit tran ML, and this will roll that change into the database. And when I execute it, I will get the ability, which I didn't have that running. But notice now, if I execute this, I'll actually be able to get that coming back. And I've probably confused it now with killing things and so forth. All right. But anyway, that's a quick way to look at and manage logs.